Welcome to the Healing Place Energy School. I want to welcome my YouTube channel, my Facebook channel, and I'm hoping very much my Instagram channel, all my families. I have so many subscribers to what I do, to me, Helen Chin Liu, certified reflexologist, certified energy medicine practitioner, Reiki master and teacher, and the owner not only to the Healing Place Energy School, but the Healing Place in Medfield, Mass. And I've authored 2 books. I'm hoping you can see it back there, over here. Know Your Chakras and Foot Reflexology to Promote Relaxation. I am so excited to be sharing this broadcast with you. It's been a while since I've done one, and I just created a 15-part class series on first step to your spiritual journey. And I would love, let me know if you're here. Let me know where you're from. Where are you from? Are you a professional healer? And what would you like to get out of this course? So this 15-part course that I just created, as I mentioned, First Step to Your Spiritual Journey, everybody is on a journey, especially if you are a healer and you're trying to figure out what direction that you want to go. And why did I create this 15-part class series? Because everybody begins their awakening process. All of a sudden, you're not comfortable in your skin, and you know something is calling to you to live your life purpose. And I'm going to share my personal information about my background, how I began my journey consciously, I would say about 20 years ago. I was hoping, in some ways, I've always been a natural healer, but I never thought I would take it to a professional level where not only am I seeing clients at the Healing Place, but I hear in my head, Helen, you need to go outside of your office and help more people by sharing knowledge. And how I came about this is when my son was young, he was sick. He was pretty ill. He went from a physical illness to emotional illness. And this is 20 years later. He's doing much better, but I've heard the guidance in my head. So the first step of your spiritual journey, it's all about honoring who you are and where you are in this life, in this moment. Are you satisfied with all the things that you have? Hi, Sanders. And feel free to jump in and ask me questions, because this is not only about my spiritual journey, it's also about yours. And then what do you want to do with your life? That's the bottom line. What do you want to do? I mean, all of us were concerned about our everyday needs. We want a home. We want, most of us want a family, a partner. We want health, joy, purposeful work. Who doesn't want a job that they're really passionate about? I'm really passionate about mine. And this peace of mind, feel this deep level of contentment. And what we do is we'll seek Him, because we get so involved with our running after our basic needs every single day. We forget how to bring joy into our life. Is that the right way of saying it, bring joy in your life? But how do you flourish and grow that joy within you where it just radiates out? So in this 15-part class series, I decided to talk about the awakening process. How do you honor your life purpose? And talk about your spiritual DNA. And one of the segments I did is how to connect to your spirit guides, because spirit guides I would have to say, they have influenced my life. This whole entire journey has been influenced by not only what I feel, but I could sense the direction of my life. And unfortunately, I should say fortunately, everybody gets these, what I call, feelings about what they should do next. But so many of us are so afraid to take the next step because we're so afraid of making a mistake. We are not certain about who has given us this information. And more times than not, your higher self, your being, is very much in alignment with who you are, and it really wants to support you. And all of a sudden, you hear little voices in your head, and you go, is that me talking to myself, or is that something more? Like, for example, people connect to the universe through prayer. They go to church to connect to God. But many times when people are outside of those circumstances, they get very insecure. Am I doing the right things? And we all want to know what to do with our lives. Everybody wants a purposeful life. Think about it. And so we end up falling in the ditch because many times insecurities gets in the way. They get into the way of our being. And especially if you are the type of person who require a lot of affirmation or verification, so you go and ask loved ones, friends, what should you do? Because you have this feeling and you don't know what to do with the information. So you need to hear somebody validate. That's the right word. Validate you. And one of the things I have learned how to do on this journey is whenever I get this feeling, I follow through. I may not do it immediately. It may be something that you could postpone for a while. But what happens a lot of time, we overthink what is the next step. So Mr. Sanders says, I have spirit animals, and spirit guides is more like an intuition or inner voice. And everyone is capable. And this is something I want to talk about, the 3 ways how to connect to your spirit guide. I'm going to give you a hint. There's also in this mini course, there is a meditation to meet your spirit guides. I'm not going to do it today. So this is something that I want you to download in the box below to get into more of details of 3 ways to connect to your spirit guides. Plus, there's a free booklet. See, you get this booklet along with the video. And if there's something that you feel there's a calling and it's time for you to take that first step of your spiritual journey, I would love for you to take my 15-part course. I should say, I'd be honored to be part of your journey to help you to not fall into I call it the pits, the ditch, because it's nothing worse when you have this sensation and you really want to fulfill that mission and you don't know which direction to go. I love the fact that because of my 20 years of experience, I probably have boiled it down so that it will help you to find your way. Yes, and it's always about coming back to Jesus, coming back to God, but most importantly, coming back to you, all right? Because since the universe, this is my opinion, we have free will. We could do something today, we could do something tomorrow, or we could even postpone it to the next lifetime if that's something that's part of your belief. Because energy is not defined by boundaries, by the 4 walls, is not defined by what you do, is what can you do to honor your spirit every day. I'm going to take a sip. I'm getting a little hoarse here. And let me tell you a little bit about my journey, because every step of this healing profession that I've done is really, I follow the advice of what I heard in my head. And something just drove me to doing what God asked me to do. One year, I have this every single year, January 1st, I have a big meeting with God. I do. We basically meet, we hang out for a while, and we talk about my assignment for the year. We just talk about what I'm ready to do. I'm ready to do. Not that I'm forced to do. But what am I ready to do? And I remember the 7th year of my business, and that was 7 years ago. I have to look up the angel numbers of 777. Anyways, God asked me, are you ready to be seen? Are you ready to be seen? And I'm like, man, what does that mean? What does it mean? Am I ready to be seen? He says to me, are you ready to see people beyond your little office here in Medfield, Massachusetts? Are you ready to talk to auditoriums full of people? Of course, at that moment, I was really shaken. I was so nervous. I go, what does that mean? Are you ready to talk to people globally and teach them what they could do to awaken their own healer and live their life purpose? And I go, man, how am I going to do that? And he says, I will help you. And so basically that year, I was really new at public speaking. I have done a whole bunch of YouTube video tips, reflexology, energy healing. And I said, I think I could do a bigger audience. And he says, good, I'm so glad that you are ready to do the work. And then at the time, I was about to attend my first conference. I rented a booth, and I hear God in my head says, I want you to do pitch a presentation. Pitch a presentation? What do you want me to talk about? And he says, well, why don't you talk about digestive health? And I will help you. So I talked to the woman who coordinated the presentations, and my assignment at the time was Sunday morning at 10. The first thing I said was, excuse the language, who the hell's going to come and see me Sunday morning at 10 o'clock? People will still be in church. And she says, well, I've seen people as little as 8 people up to 25 people come to a presentation at that time. I said, well, okay, I figure it's a good start. I was comfortable with teaching and speaking because I was not only doing video tips, I was also teaching live classes. So I was getting my mojo together, and I'm going to speak to 25 people, which is probably more than I normally would do. And what happened was I went home and I put 35 packets, because I'm one of those annoying people that give you information to take home with you. So at your leisure, you can look at it. And I put 35 together in case I had an overspill of 25. And I remember that morning, I walked into the talk, into presentation. There was over 100 people in that room. First of all, I almost fainted. I started to hyperventilate because energetically, I held my energy up to 25 people. I wasn't expecting over 100 people. In fact, it was standing room, which was amazed. And I said, oh my gosh, how do I manage my energy so I could speak, faint at the same time? Because that gets really ugly. So what I did was I tapped on the mic like this. I hope you hear that, like this. And I said, everyone, eyes up front. You see that short Asian woman? I am the presenter. My name is Helen Chin Lu, and I gave them my credential, and then everyone burst out laughing. At that moment, it melted down my nervousness, my anxiety, and wonder how I could do this. Even though I was really prepared for the presentation, I don't know how well I did, but I had a lot of fun. And I made an impression on people that my talk is all about empowerment. How do you empower your energy to be the very best you can be and never box yourself? Put yourself in a box and believing that you're somebody different or you're less than who you are, because I don't believe in that. To me, it is something that we say to ourselves to defeat our purpose, and we don't live our life purpose. So I remember at the end of that meeting, that day, I'm probably between working the booth, I probably had like literally hundreds of people come into my booth. They want to try reflexology. And I was shaken, and I hear God in my through my clear senses, this feeling of you did a good job. You did a really good job. And all because you went outside of your comfort zone. So this is something that I really want to share and emphasize. Yes, your spirit guides, God, Jesus, whoever you believe in, will and has partnered with you. It's up to you to have the courage to take the next step. Yes, you can postpone the lesson. You could say no, but that lesson is waiting for you to step up and take a chance. So that's something I'm really am proud of. I have gone out of my comfort zones for the last 15 years. I remember when I first started to make videos and talk like this, I couldn't even remember my name, seriously. And I had all my guests introduce themselves because I couldn't remember their names. Isn't that funny? And I remember God says, you will write. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't write. I've never been able to write. In fact, I've only learned how to write only the past 10 years. And I create books, as you can see in the background over there, my books. I have 4 more in progress. I just can't move fast enough for myself. So I would love so much to accompany you on your journey. I want you to take this link that I have in the comment box. It will take you to a landing page. It will go more into the 3 ways how to connect to your spirit guides. Plus, there's a meditation to meet them. You can hang out with them at your leisure. And then if it calls on you to take this 15-part class series, it's the cost, I'm going to say, is I think is $397, but I'm offering a 25% discount. So you'll get that code in the box below. This is something that's special for my people who've been following me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. So that's my gift to you. And one thing that's really cool about the 15-part courses, we always start with a grounding meditation at the beginning to get you back into your body so you're not like whirling around the world energetically, come back to you. And then there's also a healing meditation that is at each segment, because the 15-part class series is broken down in the beginners, intermediate, and advanced. So the beginner is all about the awakening process, who you are, your soul purpose, how does your past set you up for your future. And then the second module, it's about learning who you are, learning about your soul. Who are you? What makes you who you are? How do you honor yourself? So you're going to learn more about your spiritual DNA, your soul contract, and there's a kick butt healing meditation at the end to get to meet your higher self. And then the third module is about your spirit. Oh my God, this is where you hang out with your spirit guides. Plus, I also do an exercise with you so to develop your clear senses. Because in order to do this work, everything has to be awakened within you. Does that make sense? Does everything inside of you has to be awakened? Because we can't go through our life like this. Okay, let's not see. Let's pretend we don't exist. But what purpose would that serve? Think about it. You're not here just to live and die and do nothing in the middle. You're here to live not only in your own glory, but in God's glory, the universe's glory. And me, and I go, little me, with the Chinese Bostonian accent, is talking to people globally. And you can too. Anybody and everyone can do this work. So let me see if there's any other questions here that people are asking me to answer. And yeah, and it takes courage. What do you do when you don't have the courage? You just do it. I remember this in energy medicine school, and when we started, I did 3 years of energy medicine school. At the very first year, there were 18 of us, and the school was very new. I remember looking to the right and looking to the left. because the teacher said, look, this is like a military thing. We're not going to be here at the end of 3 years. So we literally went from 18 students in the first year to only 9 graduating. And as part of our practice, we had a voice. What was our biggest fears at that moment? And I mentioned to my buddy, my partner who I was with, and I told her how scared, panicking scared of starting. I just started this business, and here I am going into a recession. Nobody knew what reflexology or energy healing was. And all she said to me, Helen, as scared as you are, I know you're going to do the work. And I took a step back and I'm like, oh my God, she's right. So there's something inside of you, got to be that passion. Why are you doing this? For me, my passion is to educate and have people really believe they can do this work. Nobody, I don't care who you are, no one's exempt from this work. God puts his blessings on all of us, not some of us, all of us, okay? And yes, and the Holy Spirit is not just the Holy Spirit outside of us, but we have a Holy Spirit that lives within us. This is your soul. And that's something I talk about in the first step of your spirit journey. What is your soul and what does it comprise of? How do you live every day to honor your soul? I hope very much you enjoyed this talk. I really enjoy being here with you. Check out the links below. Go to the landing page. I want you to get this free booklet. Isn't this pretty? The booklet is so pretty. Somebody laid it out for me. And it talks about, again, your 5 clear senses, how to connect with your spirit guides. And look at the landing page on the 15-part course series. I really sincerely believe it's going to honor you and to live the life of being authentic and with integrity. All right, honey buns. I'm all talked out, but I'll be back on Tuesday night. I think that's the 18th at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Robin Bornstein, my partner. We're going to do a kick butt, I call it a healing Reiki meditation. And we haven't, if there's a theme you'd like us to talk about, put it in a box. Don't be shy. All right, honeys? All right, be well, God bless, and stay healthy. Bye-bye.